Waiting for YouTube. Hi, YouTube. How are you doing? All right. So we're here to finalize up the meal. And I did cook the peas. They were for 5 minutes, but I cooked them for 4 minutes. I put them in the crock pot for a few minutes. I mixed them up with the rice. It's all dried up. It's been, let me see, 3.5 hours, and everything was dry. All the liquid was gone out. So that means it's done. And I did shred up the chicken, not a whole lot, just a little bit. Okay, into big chunks. Okay. So I'm just giving it a few minutes with the peas. Make sure it's hot. Okay. And give me something to drink.
Huh? Let's
see. Why is this bowl up here? Alvin, why is this bowl on top of the refrigerator?
I meant to put it up, but I forgot.
Huh?
I just set it up there when I was drying the dishes, and I forgot to grab it. You might as well keep it. Oh, no, we got the bowl.
Okay, so. Oh, that's some good apple juice. All right. I forgot to show you guys what it looked like before I started it. Okay? Or when I started before, I turned off this morning. I forgot to show y'all what it looked like. It's almost ready, babe. Just about ready. Dinner. So, when I take the lid off, in about a minute or two, I'm going to check it, give it a stir, and make sure it's ready, completely ready. Okay, so this will be a very short live. I was going to come live earlier, like before I put the peas in, but I got behind because I was sitting on the bed on my phone. I was on my phone and got behind it. It was almost like 5:45, 5:50 before I went and took my dog out. I was supposed to take my dog out at like 4:30, but I got stuck on my phone. So I had to take her out, and then I was doing dishes while I was cooking the peas because there was a bunch in the sink and I wanted them out, especially big stuff like cutting board. I cut the carrots and the celery on and stuff. There is one container in here, and I was like, nah, just leave it. I don't have time. So, yeah. Anybody? Nobody on YouTube. Let's see. Hi, Shannon. How are you doing? No, it's just a little frustrated. Yeah, it's not well outside. It's a little warm. It's not like super drenching hot where I'm dripping sweat. I mean, during the summer, there was times where I go outside, walk Brownie in the morning, and I'd come back and I was dripping sweat. And I'd be out there doing this, because be dripping here, and I'd be all soaked here and, everywhere. But it's not that bad right now. I didn't come in dripping sweat, but it's still a little warm. And then I was rushing to do dishes, and I had to have my son help dry them because this purple towel right here, you probably can see the back of it here. It's usually where I put some of the dishes. Still got to dry some, but the crock pots, that's where the crock pot goes. And, so just trying to get that done so I could turn you guys on. So thank you so much, Shannon. I appreciate it. See anybody else on? No, you're the only one. And usually if I'm cooking on the stove or have the oven on, then I'm like sweating and I have to turn a fan around to cool me off. But where is the fan? Oh, right in front of my face. But yeah, but when I use the crock pot, even though the crock pot gets hot, it doesn't make the room hot. Only the oven and stove does, but the crock pot doesn't. So, but this, since you weren't on early, I don't know if you watched the whole thing. It was crock pot chicken and rice. So, chicken and rice, and then there's fresh carrots and celery. I had to cut. The carrots I had to scrape and then cut up, and then the celery I washed them all. You know how celery sometimes looks kind of dirty, so I washed the celery and then I cut it up. I cut that big white part at the bottom and the part with the leaves at the top. I cut them off. But yeah, it was 3 carrots, 2 stalks of celery, but I did a little bit more celery because they were kind of small and I wanted more. And the carrots I cut more than 3 because the carrots in the bag were small. There was like 1 or 2 big ones, but the rest were like tiny. So I had to so I added a little bit more. And it was supposed to be 1 cup of rice, but I put a cup and a half. But if you did not watch the replay, you can go back and at the beginning of the part 1 video, I named all the ingredients and the measurements. Okay? So I think it's about ready. So it's still on 2 hours because that's the lowest it can go. So there's probably 22, 23 minutes left before this will actually go to warm, but I'm going to turn it to warm now. Oh, I turned it off. Why did I do that? Okay, it's on warm. It automatically went to 4 hours, so it's on warm, so it'll stay warm. Once everybody gets their plate or bowl, then we can turn it off. If you want seconds, it's still probably warm because it takes a long time to cool down, but yeah. See? Can y'all see that? That's how big chunks I cut the chicken in because I wasn't having and now if I want them smaller, I can just push down on it with the spoon and it'll break apart because that's how tender the chicken is. But we didn't really need shredded chicken. And when I saw the picture of the recipe, it looked like big chunks. But you can shred your chicken in this meal, guys. You can shred your chicken into, small shreds, or you can just break it up into big chunks or, like I took a fork in here and I went to the bottom and I just shredded it up into big chunks, or, I put the chicken in the crock pot whole, but I think, and you can try it, and if you do try it, let me know how it turns out. You can, it didn't say that in the recipe, it just said how many pounds of chicken, 1.5 pounds of chicken breast, but it didn't say put it in whole, or whatever to do, but put it in whole, or you can before you cook it, you can cut it into cube the chicken up, and then put it at the bottom of the crock pot. It might work. I'm pretty sure it will, but that's up to you. Or you can take the chicken out of the crock pot, which will be kind of hard with all the rice on top, but you can take it out and cut it up into cubes and then put it back in. It's up to you. Okay? So it's all done. It's really dry. I mean, all the chicken broth that I put in there soaked up. That's what it's supposed to do. That's why you want enough chicken broth to cover the rice so the rice will cook. Because the rice is 1 cup of rice, but I put 1.5. So that's why I probably thought it needed a little extra chicken broth. And so if you put more than a cup of rice, make sure you add a little more chicken broth. Because it's 2 cups of chicken broth. But if you put more than 1 cup of rice, you're going to need a little more chicken broth. So I put 1/2 cup, so I should have put I think I did put about 1/4 of a cup more. I didn't measure it, but I think I did. I measured the 2 cups, but I just poured a little bit extra. But like if you put another half cup or a cup, well, if you put another cup, it's going to be a lot of chicken. If you put like if you want to put a whole another cup of rice and have 2 cups of rice, maybe you should add a little more chicken and more than what it calls for. I already added more because, like I said, the carrots are small and the celery was a little small. So, or maybe you like more carrots and celery. You like that stuff. It's up to you. But if you're going to put like a whole cup of rice and you're going to have 2 cups of rice, I would put more than 2 cups of chicken broth. I would put like 3 cups of chicken broth or something like that. Okay? But that was double. The rice was 1 cup and they put 2 cups of chicken broth. So maybe 2 cups of rice would be 4 cups of chicken broth. That's a whole 4 cups would be all of this. All of this. This is 4 cups. Okay, because a can of chicken broth is like 1 3/4 cup because I measured it before. But I put half a cup, so if I doubled it, that would have been a cup. So maybe I should have put 3 cups, but I didn't think about it. And I was gonna check it halfway through, 3.5 to 4 hours. So I should have checked it after 2 hours to make sure it wasn't too dry. Because if it was too dry, I could have added a little more chicken broth. But I forgot to do that. But it's okay. So. All right, so I'm going to get a bowl. Well, I'm going to. Okay, so. This spoon I have here is one I bought today in replace of the other spoon where the handle was coming off. So I didn't buy a normal. This is like a wooden spoon, but it's like big and round at the end. Really good for stirring. It's not like, and it's got a butterfly here because it's Pioneer Woman. Y'all know. Me and Pioneer Woman. Oh, that was hot. Okay. Me and Pioneer Woman. The other one I usually stir for tea is this one. But it just says something chef. But look how little the bottom is. So. Could use. I don't know. I kind of tasted something that was on my finger, and it didn't taste like it had enough salt. And it just asked for oregano. Now I think maybe it needed more seasoning. Different kinds of seasonings, as I'm saying. So let me see. I'm going to use a spoon.
I'll use a knife.
No. So let me. Okay, guys. So I'm going to taste this for you. Okay. I should have took a picture of it before, but I'll take a picture of my bowl. Hot. The rice tastes like you could have used a little more chicken broth. Like it's a little too dry. How does it taste to you, Alvin?
It's hot.
Enough salt and pepper? Yes, it's good. It could just use a little more seasonings. Well, it did use a little more salt because I put a little more salt and pepper. But when I say more seasonings, I mean other seasonings. So, and I didn't season the chicken because once I put everything in, it was calling for oregano, salt, pepper. But what I'm gonna do next time, and I always say what I'm gonna do next time.
She did it. I gotta put no seasoning on it because it's called for other shit. No seasoning that shit. Oh, what do you look at?
At the end, I always say what I'm gonna do next time. But next time, I'm gonna season the chicken with like onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and whatever else I want.
A little paprika.
Okay? Yeah. But I think. Hold on. Oh, that's Instagram. That's not what I want. I was supposed to add in a cup of shredded cheddar. You want to add any cheddar on top of yours? Okay. I added the last two items, which I added the sweet peas in, but it says, let me see. See, add sweet peas and cheese. So I was supposed to add the sweet peas and the cheese together, but I didn't. It's okay. So if anybody wants cheese, they can put it on top, but I don't think anybody's going to want it with rice. All right. That's good. I'm going to taste it. From here, I want to make sure when I added some salt and pepper that I added enough more. A little more salt. I did add some pepper. Okay. Now, if it's not enough, then everybody can add some more to their. That's enough. But if you want another kind of salt, and I like adding this to chicken sometimes, but it would be banging. Sorry to say that word, but banging on some steak. And I showed you all this before. Kinder Buttery Steakhouse seasoning. But it would be really good. You can add it to chicken, but it'd be really good on steak. Okay? So, hold on. Let me get a picture. Now, the recipe, I got it from Pinterest. I don't know if anybody's on Pinterest, but that's where I got it from. Hi, Mel Bailey. Kinder spices, yeah. They're really good. I'm glad you're doing well.
Still, not every family has a house like this.
Hi, Elizabeth Nye. Thank you for coming back. Checking out the finished product. I'm going to take a picture of my bowl. I forgot to take a picture. Well, I could still. I just spread it across in the crock pot. Let me see. It's better because it's... Okay. Let me show it to you guys since I forgot to show it to you earlier. I kind of took it sideways, so it looks sideways. But if I turn it sideways, it'll just go that way. So, see the chicken and the rice, the carrots, the peas, and the celery. Can you see that? If you're watching the replay on the YouTube, comment below if you can see the picture, or is it too blurry? Okay? And I'll post that later. I know I'm always late. I know, like yesterday, I was posting, what was yesterday? I was posting Tuesday's meal. I know. Okay, so that, I mean, it's pretty good. As long as it wasn't tasting as good as I wanted it to. But once I put a little extra salt and pepper, it got even better. So you got to season it right, or just, I guess it's the bland taste, but without the. Okay, just making my husband's bowl. Okay, so I'm just gonna put the lid over the spoon that's in there. It won't lay flat, but it'll be good enough. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here, guys, and I'm gonna end this live the way I ended all lives. Okay, I knew this was gonna be super short, but if you wasn't able to come on my first live, go back and watch that. At the beginning, I do name every ingredient and the amount, but I did not mention season the chicken first. Now, a lot of times I cook, I'm always like, I should have done this, I should have done that, but I think you should season the chicken, okay? Because there's oregano, salt, and pepper. That's it. I think you should season the chicken to your liking. You can put oregano, salt, and pepper on the chicken, or you could save the oregano for on top of the rice. And just put salt and pepper and then like garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, or whatever else, or the steakhouse seasoning for Kinder, or whatever else you like on your chicken. And then put the rest of the stuff and then add the oregano last. Or don't put oregano at all. It's up to you. Okay? But I think you could have used seasoning on the chicken itself. But at the end, you can always taste it to make sure it has enough salt and pepper or whatever seasonings. Okay? And season it a little more if you need to. If you don't, you're good. Okay? And I did mention each step I did. But it is on Pinterest. I guess you could go to the search button and search up chicken and rice. Because that's what it's called. But I did Crockpot chicken and rice since it's Crockpot. But you could put Crockpot chicken and rice too. Because it'll bring up the one with the Crockpot. Okay, or I could send it to you if need be. Okay? Because once you put the chicken in, if you want to season it, fine. Then you're going to put the rest of the ingredients in there. Then you're going to cook it on high for 3.5 to 4 hours or 6 to 8 hours on low. Then once it's done and the all the chicken broth is soaked in and the chicken's fully cooked, you can just break the chicken up. You can shred it fully or just break it up into big pieces. And then add the peas. If you're going to add, it says a cup, but if you want to add 1 or 2 cans, make sure you drain it. And just add it in, stir it up, give it a couple of minutes. It says add it in and serve it on warm. That's all it says. It doesn't say cook it anymore. But if you want to cook it for a few minutes to make sure it gets warm, peas, you can. Or you can use frozen peas. And you can cook it in the microwave, however you do. You know, the bag, that you cook it in the bag. Or the regular peas that you put in a bowl. Cook it. You know, it was supposed to cook for 5 minutes, the peas. But I cooked it for 4 minutes. Then I put it in the crock pot, mixed it up. Don't mix it up too much or you'll make the rice mushy. And then I broke up the chicken first, and then I put the peas in, and then I stirred it up, and then I just cooked it for a few more minutes to really make sure the peas were hot. What are you doing? Oh, his feet is moving under me. So, and then it says to add a cup of cheddar cheese with the peas. So you add the peas and the cheddar cheese, mix it up. But I forgot to add the cheddar cheese. But I don't know about cheddar cheese on top of rice, a rice meal. You know what I mean? But that's up to you if you want to add the cheese or not. It's only 1 cup and it's cheddar cheese, but you can add a different kind if you want. So yeah. And if you want to rather add frozen peas and carrots, like the bag of peas and carrots, Brownie. Sorry guys, she grabbed the pillow and she's kind of nibbling on it. Babe, please get my pillow. you can, but if you're going to put frozen peas and carrots, I would not add it at the beginning. I would add it when you have about 30 minutes left. 30 to 40 minutes. Add it in, mix it up so it can cook. Or you can cook it partial and let it be a little warm and then add it in. And then cook it for like 10 minutes more. You could do it that way too if you want to use both peas and carrots. Okay? And if you don't like celery, you don't have to put it in. It's up to you. Same with the peas and carrots. All right? Or you can add any other vegetable if you choose to. All right? So I appreciate everybody who came on. And I appreciate anybody who will come and watch the replay later on. Stay positive. Do your thing. And I love you guys. Have a good evening, Shannon. Shannon K. and Elizabeth Nye and Mel Bailey. Y'all all have a good evening. And if you haven't shared, please share. Go back and share my part 1 and then share part 2 afterwards. And what's today? Friday. Today's Friday, so Saturday and Sunday I will not be on. So I'll be back on Monday on this page between 2 and 2:30. I always say 1 and 2, 1:30 and 2:30, but I never. So I'll go with 2 and 2:30 Monday on this page. All right? And if you know people that might want to watch the live, put me out there, let your friends or followers know. Hey, I know this girl, check her out. You might want to follow her. She's going live on Monday on this so-and-so page. Just let them know. Same thing with my YouTube. If you guys are already following me, subscribe to me on YouTube. Anybody on YouTube, subscribe to me. Pass me along. Let your friends and followers know so they can subscribe too. Same with you, Facebook. If you're already following me subscribe to me on YouTube. Do the same. All right. And I'm trying to build Instagram too. I'm not doing it as fast as I am trying to do YouTube and Facebook. But if you are a part of Instagram or you know anybody that might want to follow me, that too. I don't put that out there as much, just here and there. And my Instagram name is Brownie and Mom, all one word, Brownie and Mom 77. And it's all lowercase. Brownie is lowercase. That's my dog's name. Brownie and Mom 77. Okay? And I always put the link to my YouTube in the post when I let you know that I'm going to go live cooking. It should be in the comments in that post that I made today. And when I post the picture of the food, it will be in that comment as well. So that's how you can find my YouTube. Okay? So I love you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I'll talk to you guys later. And I'll see you guys Monday. Bye, YouTube.